you've had a long professional career in your own right, but now to be the dad and see the boys coming up and making their own hockey stories, what does it mean?
It's great. It's for me. They enjoyed my career by showing up in the rink, always coming to the rink, practicing, and hanging out with the guys in the locker room. And now it's like for me to live vicariously through them, watch them play, and grow up playing the sport that I love to play, and I enjoy playing, and they're enjoying it. And hopefully at the end of the day, my oldest boy is going to Lake Superior State, and we're just looking for the youngest one to hopefully get a scholarship somewhere as well.
Awesome. So you're visiting Minot here to see the boys play for a few days here. Do you liken this area at all, or maybe this atmosphere that you've seen to maybe something in your junior days at all?
No, not really. This is way better than what I would have played for junior, that's for sure. With knowing the town, my next door neighbor in St. Paul, Monty Mayer, is from here, so we always talked about Minot. And former teammate Marty Murray was the head coach here, and then Shane Wagner actually taught the kids power skating when we lived in Stillwater, so we have some ties to the area. And then Thor Nelson, linesman in NHL, long-time linesman in NHL, obviously, so we're up talking up there. We haven't seen each other since I retired, and so it's nice to catch up to people and talk to people that you haven't seen in a while, and especially it's hockey that's bringing us all together in a great town like Minot.
Yeah, Thor brought up that you were in town. I was just congratulating him because I was here for a women's game earlier in the day, and it was just like, Thor Nelson Insurance Agency. I was like, way to get the name recognition, Thor. He said, by the way, Dwayne's in town. Any stories just with Thor specifically that you'd like to share with the Minot folks here?
Well, just, he did a lot of our games in Minnesota, and just how professional he was all the time. And I just remember the All-Star game in Minnesota when he brought the family and everyone down, and like he didn't want to ask, but I said, Thor, bring the family, come on down, like go in the locker room, so that's just the type of person he is. He's unassuming, he's very respectful of people's time, but at the same time, like, he's a great human being, and wish nothing but the best. And it's great to see he signed a bunch of sticks for Odie when he was younger, and great to see him now all growing up, and he's a big man, so I'm glad he's enjoying life, and good to see Thor again. And he was telling me him and Thor Jr. have the business together, so it's always great, and I'm glad that he's having success and enjoying what he's doing.
I just had a question for each of your pro stops pretty much. Tell me what it was like learning and playing alongside Dominic Hasek, one of the best goalies ever. He's on the short list, man.
Well, I only played 14 games in 2 years, so I had a lot of time to learn, and Dom treated me awesome, so it was a great career move for me. Even though I didn't play a lot of games, I learned a lot from Dom, which created my success later on in life.
And then for the Minnesota stops, just talk about playing for this fan base, because that's what's out here in North Dakota, and just that expanded experience and more playing time there.
Obviously with my age, I knew the North Stars and followed them, and to see no pro team in Minnesota, and being able to go and play there once they got a team there in year 2 was remarkable. My family loved it. My youngest boy was born in Woodbury. We loved our time there. We have a lot of great family friends there. And we go back. We usually go back every summer. This summer we're back for 2 or 3 weeks in Minnesota. We love the area. We love the people. And for us, I know it's not Minnesota here, but it feels like home. It reminds us a lot of being out in Hudson, Wisconsin, where we lived, or Stillwater, or in St. Paul and Highland. So it reminds us a lot of that, and we thoroughly enjoyed our time.
And then you become that, what everyone talks about, that playoff hot goalie that can just take over a playoff run. Edmonton in 2006, did you guys see that coming at any point before the postseason? And just what was that run like for you and the guys?
Yeah, we sort of saw it coming, but we just didn't know how good we actually were. We had the pieces. It was just getting the pieces to work together. I got traded there right before the deadline, and with with Pronder there. I knew Prons from St. Louis days and Mike Beckett from Buffalo days, and then a couple other guys get traded in that I knew. So it was just sort of banding together and getting everybody to, well, I guess, getting everybody on the same page to have success. And that's, as a group, Jason Smith was our captain and probably one of the best captains that I played for. He made sure we were together as a group, and from that point on, the closer we got, the better we played. And I came from our coaching staff with Craig McTavish, Charlie Honey, Craig Simpson, all played in the Dynasty days, and they just kept on saying, get together, do things together. The more bonding you guys do, the better team you're going to be. And sure enough, we had success. Unfortunately, we weren't able to win the last game, but we're pretty close.
Yeah, I can definitely see from the outside, because I'm a Flyer fan and Smith also led my team on a pretty long run.
Yeah.
So I was pulling for you guys in that Stanley Cup final. So last one for you here. I covered about your NHL career, coming from learning from a legend to having a stable when it comes to goaltending in Minnesota. You have the star turn with Edmonton, and then perhaps later in the career, how did you maybe mentor the guys that were coming up?
Yeah, just always trying to be open. It's like, hey, if you got questions, call me or talk to me or ask me. And doing goalie drills and goalie practice, always talking to your teammates and to the guys that you're working with. Mike Smith, who's now in Edmonton, and he was a puck handler. I wasn't. So we would talk about different situations. He'd ask me questions, I'd ask him questions, but just always having that relationship. It's a tough situation because you're always fighting for the net, but at the same time, there's just the two of you. So you need to talk to each other, you need to communicate with one another, and you learn from one another. So it's a weird situation, but at the same time, you learn, you get better, and you got to communicate all the time and to help people who are below you get better.
All right, really appreciate the time. Enjoy your time in town, Dwayne, and thanks a lot for this, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.